In today's video, we're going to be talking about everything that you need to know about the cost of living in Centennial Hills. So let's hop into the video. Welcome back, YouTube fam, and thanks so much for checking out our channel. If this is the first time that you're checking us out, we talk about everything Las Vegas, real estate, mortgage, finance, anything you can think about in the Southern Nevada market, we got you covered. So if you love this content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the bell so every time that we drop a new video, you get notified of our content. And if you have specific questions, don't forget to comment below and even hit us up. Drop us an email, send us a text, send us a DM. We're here to help you with your relocation or your purchase or refinance here in Las Vegas. So like I was mentioning, today we're going to be talking about the cost of living in Centennial Hills. And as a special guest today, we have Kaori Nagao, one of our top real estate agents that we work with here in Las Vegas. She's got a special treat for all of you guys. This is the first time we're having an agent hop on these videos with us because I want her to really give you guys some amazing stats that will help you folks understand the market a little more and really dive into the cost of living. So welcome, Kaori. Thanks so much for hopping in with us.
Of course. Thank you so much, Sean, for having me. Hi, guys. Nice to meet you. My name is Kaori Nagao from Char Luxury Real Estate, and I'm here to give you some interesting facts.
Absolutely. So one of the reasons we wanted to bring you guys information about Centennial Hills is that Summerlin is one of the most popular communities, and we get a lot of people calling us every single day about wanting to buy and relocate there. But not everyone can qualify for purchasing in Summerlin. And the reason being is that the home prices are typically a little higher and probably one of the highest amongst all the other communities in Las Vegas. But if you love the Northwest, and let's say you can't qualify to purchase in the Summerlin area, Centennial Hills is a great option as a backup. So that's why we wanted to talk about that community today. So Kaori, can you give us some stats about Centennial Hills and maybe like price points and stuff that you've been seeing lately?
Absolutely. So let's dive right in. So the median prices that we see for single family homes sold in the last 30 days in Centennial Hills is $317,500. Compared to Summerlin's median price was $500,000.
Wow.
Big difference there.
That is a huge difference.
Absolutely. So looking at the cost per square foot, Sean, we're looking at $165.62 for Centennial Hills, compared to Summerlin, which is much higher at $221.65.
Wow. Yeah. Can we go back to the median price again? What was the median for Centennial Hills?
$317,500.
That's even cheaper than the median for Las Vegas in general, correct?
Absolutely. The median for Las Vegas, we ended last year $330,000.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. And in terms of the price appreciation from, let's say, 2019 to 2020, what did that number look like, generally speaking?
Generally for the market? Do you know the answer?
I think it was about 10%, right?
Okay.
Roughly?
Yep, I think so too.
So, guys, you can see that the market here in Las Vegas, it's very, very busy. Homes are selling very quickly, and prices are continuously going up. The bottom of the market here in Las Vegas was about 2012. And every year since then, we've seen incredible years of appreciation. And so many people have been waiting on the sidelines thinking that the market's going to crash or that there's going to be this mass exodus of people leaving Las Vegas for whatever reason. But it's quite the opposite. People are continuously moving here, and they're buying homes with record low interest rates right now. This is one of the best times to purchase. So that's why we really wanted to talk to you guys about these housing stats, because that's going to be the bulk of your cost of living expenses, right? It's either you're going to be paying rent or you're going to purchase a home. And with the way interest rates are right now, it's super enticing for a lot of people to want to purchase. And a $317,000 home, you're looking at maybe a mortgage of, $1,600 to maybe $1,800 a month, depending on taxes and HOAs and stuff. So, if you're relocating here and if you have a family and you're looking for probably a 3 or 4 bedroom home, you're probably going to pay the same amount, if not maybe slightly higher, for a place to rent versus having some, a piece of ownership of a home and starting to build equity and some wealth into your family. So Cody, what other stats do you have for us?
Absolutely. So you mentioned HOA, and I really want to bring this up because in Centennial Hills, the median HOA is only $99.
Wow.
Where actually the lowest HOA is $40 per month, and then the highest at $160. Now compared to that with Summerlin, average HOA in Summerlin median HOA is $300. Lowest $50, which just covers the master plan,
okay.
Right? They don't not including the sub community, and then the highest that we've seen in Summerlin is $1,325 per month. That's like a car payment.
Absolutely.
More than that, actually. It could be a mortgage.
Absolutely. What does the HOA typically cover for, let's say, someone who's relocating here, they're not too familiar with the HOAs? What do they cover?
Absolutely, and a lot of these communities here in Las Vegas, as you know, we're all in an HOA, some sort of an HOA. And what that includes is obviously every master plan has an association that basically manages and takes care of that community, especially landscaping, a lot of constructions. They'll even do community events to kind of keep that community engagement going. Obviously very limited last year. A lot of virtual events happened last year, but they'll do fall festivals and a lot of activities that involve families and kids.
What determines maybe the cost of the HOA? So like, let's say, the $50 HOA compared to maybe the HOA that's $200 or $300 a month.
Great question. So usually, and we kind of look at it differently, a lot of the high rises HOA, Sean, it's cost price per square foot of your unit. So every unit is different based on the square footage of your unit. Now for homes, every HOA is slightly different, but some just kind of covers the basic, and then there's obviously like kind of the premium services that
Sure.
the HOA covers.
So if you guys are looking at homes, and let's say maybe it's a gated community, right? So a gated community probably costs a little more.
Yes, absolutely, and especially not just guarded, but a guard gated,
Sure.
right? You've got to take care of the staff that works there, the security services, obviously that's involved in managing the community.
Gotcha.
There's obviously pros and cons in guarded communities too, right, Sean? Like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer just a gated with a quick clicker open, or do you prefer a guard gated?
I think if I'm going to lean towards a gated community, I would rather have it guard gated. Gated community sounds good, but if you drive around to a lot of these communities, there's so many people that just tailgate the next guy in. So to me, paying the added fees for having a gate doesn't necessarily, to me, it doesn't justify the price. If I'm going to pay an extra, $100 or whatever that number ends up being, I would rather know that I have the security there to make sure that everything is going to be protected.
Absolutely. I mean, security is key, for everybody, especially with families, with small children, a lot of single women that are moving here. A lot of my clients come, ask me, what's the safest neighborhood to be in, right? Or within the neighborhood, what kind of amenities do these HOA offer so that I feel more secure?
Sure.
And so security, number one. And then I also wanted to mention, Sean, in HOAs, we do have some communities that have like a clubhouse, a fitness center, a community pool. Those are all included in the HOA fees.
Okay, great. Now, I know that we've talked about this in other videos, but there's actually some communities that actually have multiple HOAs, is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. So just to give you an example, in Southern Highlands where we live, we have a master plan HOA, which is about $64. And then within that, if you're within another sub-community, a guard-gated community, for example, that's an additional, let's say 100 or 125, depending on the community. But what's really interesting, Sean, is that Southern Highlands, we have like the best value of HOA compared to other communities. And so when I look at the median HOA for Southern Highlands, we're only looking at $150.
Wow.
Compared to, again, we talked about median HOA for Summerlin, which was $300, Centennial Hills at around $99, and then when I pulled Green Valley, it was about $200. So we're getting the best value living in Southern Highlands with all the amenities that the HOA offers for the HOA.
And if you guys haven't checked out any of those other videos, we've done tons of videos about Southern Highlands, Green Valley, Henderson, as well as Summerlin. So definitely check out our YouTube channel because we've got those other communities that we talk about cost of living. We give you some videos about what some of the homes look like, and we even do some home tours as well. So HOAs is an added expense to your mortgage if you guys are looking to purchase. So make sure that when you do talk to your lender, they are accounting for a homeowners association fee expense Because if you are at the higher end of your qualifying ratios, that could literally make or break you qualifying for a mortgage. So that's why we always recommend, if you're working with a lender, try to work with someone locally so they understand the market. Because if you're working with maybe an online lender or maybe a bank that's not familiar with Las Vegas, that little $50 a month or that $100 a month could kill your loan. And the last thing that you want to do is fall in love with a house, go into escrow, and then find out 3 weeks into your deal, while you got a U-Haul waiting for you outside, that you can't purchase your home. That's why we always recommend, give us a call. We're here to help you guys with your move. We've got great agents like Cody that we work with that truly understands the market, that can help you with your relocation.
So speaking of relocation, Sean, I have a question for you.
Sure.
How does that whole process work when somebody doesn't have, a Nevada state residency?
So as we've been talking about, we have a lot of people that are relocating here. You can purchase a home prior to your move to Las Vegas. So the way that would basically work is we would look at qualifying you with a second home or vacation home type of occupancy. And basically what that means is it's not your primary residence. And a lot of times people might be renting, let's say in California, and they're going to be moving to Vegas. But when we say a second home, they always feel like, well, it's my first home. I haven't bought a house yet. It's just a mortgage lingo that we use. So when we look at qualifying you for that purchase, we're looking at a 10% down payment. That's the bare minimum to purchase a second or vacation home, which we're seeing, like I said, a lot of people from California do that. So if you don't have a job lined up in Las Vegas yet, yes, you can purchase ahead of time. You just have to have at least that 10% down. If not, and you're relocating, you've got a job, you've got an offer letter, we can look at qualifying you for a primary residence, which is as little as 3.5% down. Wow. So based on those numbers, the 317, right? So if you're purchasing ahead of time, yes, 10% would be about $31,000 plus closing costs, which again is all negotiable, yes, right? And that's where, guys, get a good realtor that's going to fight for you. Because all your closing costs, it's negotiable, right? You don't have to pay for everything. I hear some people saying that, their agents even tell them that, hey, you have to pay for your closing costs. But, if you get a good realtor by your side, they're going to go to bat for you. They're going to try to get the seller to cover something or a portion of that for you guys. But if you are moving and it's your primary residence, like I said, you can look at, 3.5% down, which at that price point, you're looking at maybe $9,000 to $10,000 for your down payment. And on top of that, if it's your primary residence, we actually have down payment assistance programs. Absolutely. So super easy to qualify for. You just have to have at least a 640 credit score, so they're very lenient on their credit and their income requirements too. So a lot of our clients have been utilizing these programs where we can cover the entire down payment. So if you guys don't have a ton of money saved up, or maybe the money's going to your move, Coyote and I have programs that we can take a look at to help you guys with that down payment. If purchasing is at the top of your list, we can make that happen for you folks.
And down payment assistant, guys, is huge. We're actually working on a deal right now where our client is qualified for this down payment assistant. First-time home buyer, his credit score is great, he meets that qualification, and he's so excited. So I can't wait for this closing to happen end of the month.
Absolutely. All right, if buying a house is not your thing and you're not ready to take the leap yet, don't worry. We're not trying to sell you on buying a house. Here's some rental stats for you. Cody, share us some of those stats that you got.
Absolutely. So there's currently only four actually, Sean, available rental single-family homes in Centennial Hills.
In all Centennial?
All Centennial Hills. And let me tell you, our market is so active. It's low inventory and obviously all the homes that you want to buy, but also on the rental market too. So we're getting multiple applications, especially from out of town, all qualified for the rental market. So there's only 4 available compared to 46 available in Summerlin, but you have to remember Summerlin is a much bigger, they take almost all the west side of Las Vegas Valley.
Okay. Yep.
The median price for a rental in Centennial Hills is $1,895. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath unit. And then compared to that, in Summerlin, we're looking at an average of $2,288.
Wow.
For a rental, same 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So you can see that big price difference there.
Absolutely. That's huge. And guys, those are mortgage prices. I know we're here, we're not here to talk about mortgages all day long and buying a house, but hey, if you're paying $1,800 or $2,200 a month, I mean, that's literally a mortgage payment. So just, hey, if it's your first time buying or maybe you're unsure, that's where we're here to help you guys. But if not, you can see the difference between Centennial and Summerlin. Huge difference in prices when it comes to rentals. And another reason why we've been getting a lot of people calling us to relocate here to Las Vegas is Nevada does not have state income tax, guys. So for those of you, especially living in California, we've been getting a lot of people from Southern California that's relocating here. So you're gonna see a huge bump on your paycheck, especially if you can work from home. So if you guys are doing that, Nevada is one of the biggest places that we're seeing a lot of people relocate to. We're also licensed in Texas, so we do a lot of business in the Texas area. But one of the big things that I'll mention just between the two of those is that Texas property taxes are insanely high. Insanely high. I think it could be anywhere from maybe 2 to 3% sometimes, depending on the property. Yes. But Cody, what do you see as far as property taxes go here in Las Vegas?
Absolutely. In Nevada, our average for property tax is only 0.53%. National average is actually 1.7. So if you're saying Texas is above that,
yeah,
that's where they get you.
Yeah, we've seen some insanely high property taxes out there. So I'm sure if you guys are doing some research, Texas, super high property taxes. So even though in Nevada we don't have state income tax, our property taxes are still relatively low. And another thing that we can celebrate here in Las Vegas is that we don't have any toll roads. So again, for those of you that are, maybe from California or Texas or some of these other states and cities that have toll roads, we do not have any of that here in Las Vegas. So you can literally hop on our 215 or 15 freeway and you can get from point A to point B and not have to worry about incurring any other fees or charges. Now let's hop into groceries. For those of you that have been watching our videos, you know that I love shopping at Whole Foods. The closest Whole Foods that you can get to in the Centennial area is actually going to be in Summerlin, off of Charleston Boulevard. So you're going to have to drive a little bit of ways just to get there. And for those of you that also love Trader Joe's, Trader Joe's is also another popular destination, which is also in downtown Summerlin. So nothing directly in Centennial Hills. You are going to have to drive probably 10, 15 minutes to get to those places. But Cody, you have a family. What does that look like when you go grocery shopping?
Absolutely. So I have a family of 4, so 2 adults, 2 daughters. Our average weekly spend, I would say anywhere from $125 to $150.
Okay.
We usually shop at the local Smith in Southern Highlands. It's in the Southern Highlands Marketplace. I do love Whole Foods, but I'm actually more of a Trader Joe's fan. So I do go to the Trader Joe's. Our closest one, actually we're kind of in the middle. There's one in Henderson, off of Eastern, and there's one in downtown Summerlin. So it depends on which area I'm in. If I'm in the office at Tivoli Village, I'll go to the one in downtown Summerlin on my way home. But you can't beat all those amazing Trader Joe, frozen specials.
So there you guys have it. She's got a family of 4. She's probably spending $400 or $500 a month on groceries. But again, it just depends on where you like to visit. We have tons of grocery stores here, like she said, Smith's, Albertsons. Those are some of the more local ones that you have within the communities. But if you want something more of a specialty, we do have the Trader Joe's, we do have your Whole Foods. But like I said, they're not located directly in Centennial Hills. You do have to drive a little bit of a ways out. So if any of those stores, really can help you make a difference on where you're living, that's something to definitely take a look and consider. And for those of you that love to get outdoors and get some fresh air and some exercise, one of the great things about living in Centennial Hills, you're kind of in the middle between heading out to Mount Charleston, which we've talked about before, where you can get out and snowboard and ski, and actually also to Red Rock, which if you like to hike, mountain climb, mountain bike, all that stuff, you can get out there and do it. Cody, what are some of the fees that maybe if someone wanted to hike or have access to the parks and stuff, what does that look like?
Absolutely. Such a great deal, Sean. So for Red Rock National Park, the fee is only $30 per year. And if you love national parks, you could actually get an unlimited access for $80 to all the national parks nearby. So we have Red Rock. We also have Zion National Park. Have you been there, Sean?
Never been to Zion.
It's only 2.5 hours away, and I actually took my family there last May. So it's a quick drive.
Awesome.
And you can have unlimited access to all the national parks. That's very close to us in Vegas.
Are there any fees if they wanted to go to Mount Charleston to ski or snowboard or anything?
Great point. So currently, with COVID, especially with the restrictions on number of people in those areas, you do have to pay for a parking pass, which is very cheap. It's only $10 per vehicle. You have to have that parking pass to get access to that Lee Canyon area where you have the skiing, the snowboarding. For kids, they actually have tubing, but obviously this year and last year, it's been closed since we have the COVID.
Gotcha. Lots of outdoor activities, guys, and you can see it doesn't cost you a ton of money. It's not going to break the bank to get out there. So again, for those of you that love to get outdoors, those are two popular destinations that a lot of locals and a lot of tourists love to come visit, especially when they're in town. So there you have it. That's everything that you need to know about the cost of living in Centennial Hills. We talked about housing, we've talked about rental prices, getting outdoors, some groceries, and just some basic necessities about your living, everything in Centennial Hills. And again, if you're not familiar with the area, don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. We've done some pros and cons about the area, done some walkthrough on some homes and stuff, so you can get a good idea of what it looks like. And if we missed anything, by all means, drop that in the comments below. Send me a text or an email. Let me know what your specific questions are, because me and Cody would love to answer them for you guys, get you more information. And remember, the only way that we can help you is when you reach out to us. So don't forget, shoot us a text, shoot us a DM. We want to help you guys with your relocation and be your one-stop shop for everything here in Las Vegas. And always, I appreciate you watching, appreciate the love and support and all the comments from all you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.